we're forceful, we're abusive, we're obnoxious, and
The way I like my press. Fuck yeah.
Oh, this isn't press. Nah,
You don't consider this press?
Nah.
Impressed.
Oh.
Hey, I want to talk about your shoes. They look comfy and fun.
I want to talk about the whole attire because you look like you're ready for the Australian summer and you're ready to just be sporty as fuck, and I appreciate that.
Ready for all terrain. We leave for Japan tomorrow, so I had to get my shorts and t-shirts in now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I don't think it'll be that cold though.
How do you feel about shorts on stage for high kicks and stuff?
Little dicey for that first 3 rows, but no, I exist in shorts.
Only if they're shorts.
I mean, brother. I'm from Canada, and we push it to December.
Yeah, you know what? I've got Canadian friends that they're
shorts.
I'm like, oh, it's a bit chilly today. It's 9 degrees.
They say the shorts stay on during winter. That's what they.
That's bold. That's a bold.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I can't afford the shrinkage.
I mean, listen, dude. Nobody's really looking.
Packing. That's what I've learned from this.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, no. I pretty much would only ever wear shorts on stage.
Wow.
I didn't feel the need to be moderately presentable at times.
Don't worry about it. Have you ever seen Don Broco play before?
Oh yeah, them shorts.
Sai wears the shorts and just has the best high kicks the whole time, and
that's it.
You couldn't do that if you were
I swear the shorts are getting shorter, and he's like, I'm going to see how far I can push this before I have it.
That's it. That's it.
When next time we see him, we're like, you weren't 7 foot last time we saw you. It's all on the legs. But
yeah.
Hey, this has been a nice, long, relatively easy tour run for you in Australia this time around.
Yes, and the longest one that we've got. Usually we only hit just the major markets.
Yeah.
So 7 shows is cool.
How's that experience been?
It's really good. I mean, we traded Perth for Hobart this time. So we did everything.
Was that your first time there?
Yeah.
I've still never been to Tasmania. How was it?
It was awesome. We played a 1,000 cap theater kind of thing.
Cool. Nice.
I don't know. We did probably 75% of the room, for Hobart on a Wednesday or whatever it was.
Oh, that's cool. That's great.
North Lane chased us out. They were there the day after. So they're getting a bunch of music right now. But yeah, it was really fun. It was just us and Cody. So
cool.
fun.
Hell yeah.
Which is cool. And then we did another side show in Adelaide where it was just intervals, periphery, and Cody, which is also a crazy bill.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been amazing. Last time we were here was 2018. We did 4 shows on the back of an Asia run, so we were fucking tired.
Yeah.
And we closed 2, Polyphia closed 2, so it was cool. It was our 3rd time in Australia.
So your experience, how does it feel in a post-COVID Australia? What's your experience there?
The same as everywhere else.
Okay.
The vibe is really strong. Crowd participation, the attentiveness of the audience is really strong.
Cool.
And I love it. I mean, Aussie crowds have always been good to us, but this is particularly special.
There's a really supportive market for instrumental music here as well, with people like Pliny and Animals as leaders always do really well here.
2016 was so I just finished up 7 weeks in Europe. It was the Plintervals era with Animals as leaders. And we came over, and it was my first shows in Australia. And believe it or not, it was Polaris Intervals Plenty, which I cannot believe ever happened.
Wow.
Summer 2016 or September 2016. We did Max Watts. We did Factory Theater in Sydney and stuff. I mean, that bill now makes 0 sense, but
it's fun though.
Super fun, and love those guys. I think we're gonna see some of those guys tonight. So.
We saw Dan last night.
Yeah, Dan's coming along. Yep.
Yeah, the guest list is crazy tonight. But yeah, it's nice to come back and do it on a bill that really makes a lot of sense for us. I'm a huge Coheed fan. They're playing my favorite record by them from front to back. That's so 100%. Special.
When the lineup drops, I audibly went, whoa.
Ha! Dude, and Leprous, we got to play Brutal Assault in the Czech Republic 2016 with them. Periphery, I mean, Intervals has done tons of shows. 2014, we did a whole run together. The beginning of Intervals is sort of my first drummer I met through Matt Halpern, and there's a lot of history there. I've known Misha for a long time.
Cool.
So this is a lineup that just makes a lot of sense.
In terms of lineups then, you've collaborated with quite a few people. Give me what would be your dream lineup, 5-band festival.
Oh,
you're not playing.
You're not playing.
You're running it.
Yep.
And you just get to watch the whole thing, but you're not playing, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Whew. That's crazy. Can it be any genre?
It can be any genre. It can be alive or dead. Yeah.
Oh man.
The Wiggle.
I'm very excited. I've been waiting for someone to ask me this.
That's crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna throw 5 random things at the wall.
Do
then.
it. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
have
let's
this
do
thing.
that.
Do I have to put them in order? That'd be terrifying.
No.
Johnny's gonna do that after.
Okay. Paris.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
Purity Ring, if you're familiar.
Yeah, yes.
I like some female-fronted stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I want to throw a weird one in there. So Sixth,
Oh,
I don't know them.
nice.
British, progressive.
One of the early progressive that kind of like delved into the metalcore. So
Periphery
Gen
cite
sort
them
of
as a
stuff.
massive influence.
Okay,
Same
cool.
for me.
Yeah.
Same
Cool.
for me. I discovered them through Protest the Hero, who are from
Oh,
from
yeah,
Canada
we love
as well.
Protest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. What am I listening to lately? I really like that latest 4 Year Strong record, so they can play.
Yeah.
My manager also handles them as well, so I'm a little
Oh yeah,
partial
brownie
to
points, love it.
Yeah.
Smart man. Yeah.
I'm a
Um,
businessman.
I get 2 more, right?
Yep.
Um,
And it's a
No, one
mixed
more.
bill so far.
One,
Oh, 6.
Paris, Purity.
Oh, yeah.
I just
Yeah.
instantly
4 year?
got rid of the band that I didn't know.
that's okay.
I'm a bit of a
That's
math-
okay.
mathematician.
I'm trying to think of what I've been listening to lately.
What about thinking about like OG bands? What's
Yeah, what about an
Rebel
all-time
Wilds?
great?
Amberlyn can play.
Oh, we
Oh,
love him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
all over the place.
I like this guy.
Yeah. I knew we were friends. It's just-
Yeah, I mean, like I love the progressive guitar stuff, but I grew up going to the Warped Tour and
Yeah.
stuff, and like I have a soft spot for all that stuff. I grew up on pop punk, but actually mainly I can't believe. Actually, can I throw a 6th in?
Yes, hell yeah.
Strung Out, if you're familiar, like some California punk rock.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
like the stuff I really came up on. It was like a lot of the Fat Records bands, like
Yeah.
Strung Out, Lagwagon, No Use for a Name, Bad Religion, Pennywise, AFI.
No offense.
Yeah.
No Facts, of course. I
I
mean,
feel like
I'd be
you've also
remiss if
dropped
I-
2 there that like is quite, I guess, reflective of you as a guitarist in terms of like, you know, Strung Out and Lagwagon
Yeah.
were both one of those punk bands that had that super quick metallic edge to the guitars that you didn't hear a lot
For sure.
in that scene.
First time I heard Exhumation of Virginia Madison by Strung Out, I was like, first of all, you can do a 2-minute song, basically. It might even be a $1.30 actually, which is crazy. And it's just fast, tons of riffs in there. I'm like, okay, in and out, super quick, very technical, love that. First time I heard like Back to the Motor League by Propaganda, I was like, oh,
Incredible
okay. And I found all that stuff through like Protest the Hero. And that's like that blend of like technical metal meets like punk rock. So, you know, and then yeah, all the OG 4 Year Strong stuff, even what they're doing now, like makes so much sense to me.
Yep.
And it's been cool too because in the last little while I've been able to actually like collab on that front outside of the progressive stuff. I got to recently play on the Home Team record,
Yeah, the home
which is
team
really
one,
cool.
That was great.
They're our boys.
And yeah, great band and awesome people, and like I'm really partial to like that's approach, you know.
Yeah.
Got to play on A Beautiful Place to Drown by Silverstein. I'm on track 1 on Bad
Yep.
Habits, which was like also a huge one. That's a pinch me moment. So yeah, it's cool to like see the crossover there because I think like a lot of the time the niche, like what we do, might get viewed as being slightly pigeonholed. But I'm a firm believer that, if it says anything about what we've been able to do since the beginning of 2023, we were the one of 3 on Spirit Box's inaugural U.S. headliner. It was
yeah.
intervals after the Burial Spirit Box, which is crazy and super good for us. And then we went into direct support with Tesseract, so right back into our lane.
Yeah.
And then this year we did a co-headliner with Hail the Sun. And then we went into a tour with Mammoth, WVH, which is Wolfgang Van Halen's
Yeah,
band.
that's another strange one as well. Like
We're just doing this.
Stadium
Keep
rock.
guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, which has actually been a goal of mine since the inception of Intervals. Every conversation I've ever had with a booking agent is basically like, how can we get outside of the Venn diagram?
Yeah.
But then also play to our strong suits. So we have a U.S. headliner coming up March, April, which is very much catering specifically to the prog market. We're bringing Vola over, who are a Danish, Swedish band that are like super in that lane, fit with probably a band like Leprous.
Yeah.
More that right in the progressive world, trying to cash our chips in from like pulling from all those other places and doing a tour that really makes sense for our kind of fans. But then my eye is already on like, how can we branch out again? I want to do more. I'd love to support Coheed in North America,
For sure.
some stuff like that. So yeah,
Let's manifest that.
Yeah. The secret. But, in saying that, though, with the whole staying in your lane thing,
Mhm.
I feel like, a lot of instrumental bands, it's always about, like showmanship and stuff. And
Sure.
not that the songs are lacking, but I feel like you've got songs that are extremely straightforward and catchy. And it's
Sure.
all about the sort of the riff architecture and the catchiness of it,
that's right.
which makes it super accessible for someone who might not be as wowed as some people by flashy guitar work.
Yeah, and I think that's deliberate because I was like kind of I don't know, off put by this like this like stigma around this like self-indulgent like guitar music is just like a lot of like, you know, wanky showmanship or whatever. And I think that it's a hangover from like the late 80s, like the Shrapnel record stuff. No slight there because they obviously paved the way for everything that we're doing. But I think the approach to composition was totally different there, where it's like you have whoever the virtuoso is leading the thing, and then you've got, you know, the band is just sort of supporting like a reason for the guitar to sort of be there.
Yeah.
Whereas now if you look at modern progressive instrumental music, I think like the playbook is like very much about like the guitar is like sort of maestroing a more like inclusive composition. And for me, it's like I'm obsessed with drums, you know, that's like the second instrument that I play. So it's really liberating to be able to like compose everything, but think about the whole band. And I'm really trying to think about like the song and like how we can all serve the song together. The melody and the identity of the song is always like paramount to me, more so than technique is a vehicle for an idea, but it's not the reason for a song.
Yeah.
Like, hi, welcome back. I didn't fuck up at all.
Perfect. Yeah.
Seamless.
Put a pin right back in that. Yeah. I mean, I guess the idea is that, you know, you look at like what a band like Polyphia is doing, or, you know, I mean, we exist in a small pond for sure, but I think there's sort of like, I don't know, there's just a different approach these days where composition is certainly paramount. So I think the songs matter the most.
Yeah.
And, you know, and how you present that to the audience is, you know, like Animals will do it differently than how we do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's what's cool. You know, there's a band we've done probably like almost 100 shows with. And that's a fun pairing because I feel like we don't step on each other's toes.
Yeah.
You know, there's still
sure.
actually variety within the microcosm.
For sure.
So, yeah.
When it comes to writing the records, you're talking about like stepping out of your lane and playing different things. Does that come into it when you're actually writing, being like, oh, this song is something that we could play if we played with this sort of band?
Yeah.
Or is that me just being out of the box?
No, I mean it plays a role. I mean, I try to be as honest and like serve like whatever the headspace is at the time for me, because too much of that like strategic consideration can, I don't know, it can kind of
Feel
get
like you're being a little bit disingenuous, I
some
guess.
mud in the cogs, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like, yeah, I think it kind of goes against like the ethos, especially with this kind of music, because like if we wanted to be hyper palatable, highly marketable, there would be like a different way to do this. There'd probably be a fifth guy. And by the way, we did that in 2014. There is a record that has vocalists. Got that out of my system, very proud of that record, but it's not the most honest approach for me. So I try to consider those things, but I think like just over sheer time now, there's enough in the catalog to say, okay, when we tour with a band like Mammoth, we're gonna do more rock forward stuff.
Yeah.
But then I could deliberately put a heavy song in there to make us feel like a sore thumb there. Whereas like when we did a tour with, you know, Hail the Sun, like try to have a nice balance, you know. Another band for the festival, or a band I'd love to tour with, would be like The Midnight. And then like we'll do a tune like Dose where I can pull out the saxophone and we can do some stuff like that. So always trying to have like a nice variety where we can do whatever.
And talk to me about song titles, because with no lyrics,
Yeah.
you don't have that to pull from.
Yeah.
Do you just go, that'll do?
Yeah. I said this morning. Sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of fun with it. I've been so in 2016 2015 I put out a record called The Shape of Color, which was like probably one of the more amorphous, like abstract things where it's like, let's do a play on words that doesn't really mean a lot and like leave that open-ended for up to interpretation for the listener. But since The Way Forward, I've been trying to tell a story. In terms of things that matter to me, like there's a lot of through lines that connect from that all the way up until what we're doing now, where I'm always using different metaphors for like balance. Like we have a record called Circadian, and like that's, you know, the human sort of connection to the sun and the moon cycle, which is like to me is like this almost like literary aphorism for like, you know, the Libra scales, which constantly plays a role. My zodiac symbol kind of always finds its way in there as well. So I'm like always using these different ways of telling the story about, you know, like balance. Everything is always about balance. Just putting a yin yang on stuff is pretty cheap,
Have you,
right?
ever sort of put it out to fans and things, or even like your peers, you know, like listening to this track, what does this song mean to you? What could you sort of, and does anyone ever nail it?
Yeah, for the most part. I get some stuff that comes back and I'm like, oh, it's certainly different than where my head's at. But I try to lay it out, you know, like Circadian, I started to get into a really good rhythm with it. There's some song
A
titles that...
circadian rhythm? Sorry, it was right there.
It was.
How dare you?
And like the first track is called 5-HTP, and then the song that I reference with the saxophone that happens later in the record is called DOSE, which stands for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. And 5-HTP is like an upstream metabolite in the body of serotonin. It's like a precursor.
sorry, I
So-
I've just
Watch
realised
his
this
face
guy's way
glaze
too
over.
smart for us.
yeah, so I'm trying to like pull from, I don't know. I guess.
I like that that was not the end. The end is not just grab it from here. It's all here,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah,
a plan behind it.
Yeah, I mean, if I can explain it in an interview, then I feel like there's that good through line. But it's also totally open ended,
Yeah.
which is, although I feel like slightly responsible because like fans will tag me. They'll be like in the like health food store and they'll like buy a supplement and tag me, and they're like 5. I'm like, listen, I'm not a doctor. I have to give the medical disclaimer on
The
albums.
next
that
thing they send you is them with a drip in the arm.
yeah, don't take that, brother. Like, I
I
don't.
listened to this song on repeat, and I fucked up.
I've been asleep for a week. Like, yeah. But anyhow, so yeah, no, I'm always trying to tell a story. There's always like this one concept at the heart of everything. Yeah. Actually, I mentioned The Way Forward. It's cool. My buddy Simon Grove, who plays bass with Plenty, his older brother Tim, did the record, album design, layout, and everything. He's coming today. I haven't seen Tim
Sick.
in a long time, so that's actually really cool. I just thought about that. We'll see.
Fun.
Yeah, Sydney's going to be a hang.
Now
I
you've
like
mentioned collaborations.
Yes.
Who's on the radar? Who's on the hit list? Who would you love to collaborate with? Now it can be someone who might add vocals to a track. It can be
Yeah.
electronic artist, whoever.
Yeah, I got to collaborate with one of my favorite electronic artists on this latest record, a
Yeah.
duo called Cone Sound from the UK, which is like some cool UK drum and bass stuff, like more in the IDM, like intelligent dance music sort of world, like it's very techy. But they've had a massive influence on me. I actually found them through Mark from Bale and Maya years ago, and I love drum and bass, so that was a really cool one. But it's staying on that theme. I would love to do a collab with Pendulum.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, Rob Swire's not gonna call me back. Don't get it twisted, but I would love to.
Rob.
Call him back.
Call him back.
Rob's Aussie, no? Yeah. Yeah.
We don't know him. We're just assuming he's watching this random interview, and we're going to make that happen.
Would love a Pendulum collab. That'd be really fun. Also, I think it's just a matter of time, but I really want to do something with Wolfgang Van Halen.
Yeah,
He's been
nice.
so kind to me and to Intervals, and he put us on a tour earlier this year. We'd love to do more. Really close friend now, and he's incredible. Like,
Dude, he's incredible, right?
he's incredible.
Yeah.
He's the only guy on those recordings. On that tour was so fun too. Like, he would invite Jacob and I to soundcheck, and he knows more of my songs on not only guitar but on drums at any moment. Like, more songs that I'm remembering at any given
Wow.
time. And we have videos of us playing like 5-HTP and string theory and stuff, and he's on the kit, and he just knows my tunes on drums. Like, so I think there's something there.
Yeah.
Would love to do that. So yeah, some stuff like that. I don't know. Like, I'm more excited by collaborations that are not specifically in the genre.
Yeah.
I like that. I think like stepping out and doing like a pendulum or something in that electronic space is fun because it does keep it interesting and
Yeah, man.
It's
And-
an
Well,
opening
like,
new
In
audiences.
Flames is who put Pendulum on the map for me.
oh,
Um,
dude,
yeah.
yes.
And I was just like,
One of the
holy
coolest
fuck.
songs on that record. 100%. That record was huge for me in high school. Like,
Yeah.
I still cannot get enough of that album. So, yeah, Pendulum, something like that would be really cool. There's a lot of other, the Purity Ring thing, like, that's definitely like way far in left field. But that's like, I love that approach to EDM.
Yeah.
And there's a place for this kind of thing. Guy from here called Phase One.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first one.
yeah,
He's
of
done a
course.
heap of stuff with
Yeah.
Yeah, may or may not have already
Polaris
sprinkled some
and-
stuff into something that may come later, but yeah, I don't know that I'm
No one knows.
I don't know that I'm at liberty to speak about that. Now he's going to DM me, but
Hey, I just removed you from the record.
yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, all those wonderful guitar lines.
It's like there's actors when they're like, oh yeah, I went and I did this part, and then they go and take
No.
their families to watch it, and it's like,
Not
have
even
you
in it.
seen? They didn't tell you.
Oops. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm pretty
What
much.
I'm taking away from this is the next 2 years you're going to be everywhere.
I would
I
love.
like that.
I would love to. I mean, I'm open to whatever. There's also a collaborator on the record who did all the sound design and sort of filled in the gaps where sort of my production is sort of like my blind spots. His name's Jesse Zaretti, and he does mainly video game composition, heavy hitter in that space. And I feel like it's only a matter of time before Intervals does something on that front as
Cool.
well. A lot of time people will draw those parallels between like what we're doing to like maybe
I could hear that for sure.
Yeah.
Especially the stuff that would work well on like anime sorts of games.
Yeah.
It's very positive, like
Yeah.
there's major key.
melodic,
Yeah,
super
yeah.
high energy, or like a lot of people will be like, oh, it sounds like an F-Zero level, or like, I love like, I grew up on, my first console was a Genesis. I love Sonic.
you know when his face glazes over when you talk smart stuff, I zone over when you talk gaming.
Games? Well, I stopped gaming when I started playing guitar. I had this weird like guilt sort of like complex.
I'm wasting my
About,
time.
like, yeah, I really stopped taking gaming seriously, and then gaming was a treat that I would do after like writing and releasing albums. So like the consoles, I would buy a console, and then it would just like get played for like 3 months and then collect dust. So I'm bad with the gaming. Like I have a Switch in my backpack, I haven't even touched it once. Like all the guys are in the playing gaming, I'm like,
So how do you pass the time then?
podcasts, music, listening to the new Novelist album that's not out yet that they
Writing
let me
guitar
hear.
stuff with a bunch of people.
Just writing it in his head. Just
Yeah.
Thinking of song titles that are too smart for us to understand.
Probably like consuming too much like political stuff and just like trying to not do that, but also doing it because we're America's hat. So, you know.
You know what? You know what the great thing. You know what the great thing is that you could put like emotionally through your music whatever you wanted into that
Yes.
song and know exactly what it's
Yes.
about to you.
Yeah.
But no one can judge you for it because it's all up to their interpretation.
Which is
There's
how
no
we're able
lyrics.
to play in China, and I can submit all my songs to the CCP, and they can tell me, pull up, just pull up, dude. It's all good, no problem, doesn't matter.
That's,
I don't have to change my band name either. It's fine. Nothing means anything. So yeah.
Love that. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Unintentional traveling.
Well, it's cool. We played in India right before the pandemic, and that was one of those moments where I did realize how much we're able to sort of, transcend those, maintain that connection, and
Yeah.
we don't have to talk politics, religion, nothing. Like,
Yeah.
don't even have to cry about a breakup. I can just play my guitar.
And weep while doing it.
While my guitar gently weeps.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
I knew it said weep for a reason.
I could have a migraine and be completely shot on 2 hours of sleep, and I still have to play. That's the thing I don't get to show off.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're awake. You might have to play the gig, But I'm happy to, because that's why we're here. We didn't come here to not. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. We haven't seen you, so this is
Oh,
this is
cool.
the first for us.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
So,
Yeah,
we're excited to come.
very
on.
excited. This whole package is incredible. It's been such
It
a
is,
joy to do, and yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe we got 7 shows while in Australia.
Yeah,
this time.
that's I think the crazy thing with this one is the scope of it, and then also because there's like a little fuel side shows along
Yeah.
the way. It's done well.
It's
Yeah.
also, if you're going to come all this way, because we know we're so fucking far from everyone.
Yeah.
If you're going
You're
to do
the
it,
hat.
fill
We're
it up.
like the far left shoe.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just floated down the We get to fly to Japan tomorrow though.
Yeah, that'd be
So
fun.
we're gonna take off for Tokyo in the morning very early, but
Best country in the world.
dude, I'm so excited. It's our second time there. We do Tokyo and Osaka, and then I got an Airbnb for the boys, and we're just gonna hang out.
Cool.
So,
Hell yeah.
last show of the year, and just kind of like shop and retail therapy, food, maybe
Great.
get tattooed. Just
Is
hang
it going to
out.
be really warm there still?
Nah, it'll be like
Huh?
coolish.
Coolish? Yeah.
Still warmer than home. We got a cold snap right as I was leaving, so.
Canada.
But catch me like this at home,
Yeah.
though, shoveling my driveway, just like.
Still in the shorts.
Yeah, I
Still in the
push it.
shorts,
I
but
push
just
it.
with really big boots.
Trust me. My front house engineer lives in jorts. Blundstones and jorts.
It's a look.
It
It's
is. a look. Yeah.
it is a look. Yeah.
Not the look.
You're certified to call it a look. I know you, so. No, it's just a look.
It's a look, and I'm not judging anyone for it. I just wouldn't be doing it myself. That's okay.
No, you don't do jorts with the Blundstones, brother?
I haven't yet. Maybe I don't want to.
I want to see that one on your IG.
I'd love to see how it goes.
I'll
Yeah,
introduce
yeah.
you to Chase later, and you can size it up and
Sure. See if I can make it work.
outfit inspo.
Yeah.
Pull out dressed like a member of the Trailer Park Boys. Yeah.
I always feel like
100%.
that in the metal space, to be like every time I come dressed as the way I do, everyone's like, "Look at you!" I'm like, I'm just wearing what I normally wear, but I'm not
Dude.
often not
I
wearing.
respect
black
it. I respect
Black
it.
jeans.
Yeah.
See, I go for the option where I'm just going to wear a shirt with our stupid face all over it.
Dude, I also respect that.
You shouldn't.
It's not
That's
even
dope.
available on the merch store. We're like, we can't sell that to people.
Not that one?
We can't do that to
Damn,
people.
dude.
Nah, special orders only.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's just for Johnny's little private collection.
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much for having
Dude,
me out.
it's a pleasure. Yeah, it's cool. I consume a lot of your content on YouTube. So,
Well, thank you very
yeah,
much.
the algo is kind to you guys.
I
You're
like
always like
that.
taught
I
when
hope
a
so.
new video drops. I see it on your channel before I even watch the real thing. So,
Oh, yeah.
We're doing it. We're
you,
doing the thing.
you are
Yeah.
doing it, and it's cool. I appreciate actually that that you guys would reach this part of the Venn diagram, so to speak, because it is a little left of center from maybe the more like mainstream stuff. But like that was intentional when we took a Spirit Box tour. Like this is the idea. It's like let's put it in front of some audiences and
Yeah.
like let's see, because I do actually believe that what we're doing is slightly more maybe potentially more palatable for the layman that doesn't understand like what's going on in progressive metal.
I think
So it's
there's
cool to
also
do
a
this.
desire
Yeah.
for it from people. Like the channel started because we just want to share the shit that we liked, and then it just happened to take off. And so we're now very aware of being like not just doing what's big. We want to do the stuff that we actually like because
Dude.
we've got an audience that wants to learn and
Pushing more
find new
towards
things.
this sort of stuff.
So
Yeah.
it's cool to like have artists that are also chasing that themselves, not
For
being
sure.
like, no, this is our lane and we're sticking to that.
Yeah.
So
No, I respect
it's
that.
mutual.
No, that's cool, man. Yeah, and the gig is going to be amazing. Lots of friends coming tonight, and I'm glad Sydney's the end. We got nice and warmed up now. So
Yeah, hell yeah.
I felt-
Yeah.
No,
If this was
fuck
gig
no.
one,
excuses.
if I was doing this gig one with you guys, I'd be tweaking. I'm like, no, I gotta go. So jet lagged.
So on a
but-
scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you right now?
No, we're good. I'm a 7.5, which is pretty good. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, awesome. I really appreciate it, guys.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much, dude.
for
Have a great show.
Thank you. Great to meet you guys.
Pleasure.
Cool.